Hey y'all, it is Sunday, October 20th. I did not mean to take yesterday off. It just kind of, the day got away from me. So I am back. I'm here with my pile of shawls and my assistant Darcy to talk to y'all about those in a little bit. But first I thought I would give you a quick update. I did finish the body of my Elton yesterday and I am onto the sleeve. I actually have it in here. I'm past the elbow on the first sleeve, so I'm hoping to go downstairs and finish this in a little bit. So that is my progress so far. It is going relatively quickly. It's a little bit fiddly, constantly alternating those two balls of yarn, but I'm pretty happy. If I can get this first sleeve done by tonight, I do think I'll be able to find enough time in the next few days to get a second sleeve done. So that is that. Haven't really done a whole lot this weekend. Jason and I went to the town next to us. It's a little bit bigger. They've got a few more stores. Went to Target tonight to get a small piece of furniture for one of the other extra bedrooms since we've got guests coming. And yeah, that was basically it. I took a few little clips here and there of some of our drive. There's this really kind of cute, picturesque little farm that's for sale down the road from us. I keep trying to convince Jason to buy it and so I can have sheep. I don't think he's on board. But anyway, why don't we get into the shawl talk? Belly rubs first and then shawl talk. So I guess I just kind of gathered all these up and dumped them into a pile here. I guess the first one that is just sitting here is the most recent one that I have finished, and that is my dotted ray shawl, and this is one of the ones that I showed on my very first episode. It's knit with Artemis yarns from her advent calendar last year. I didn't use all 24 colors. I used like 19 colors, I believe, to make this fade. I love this thing. I can't wait to wear it. I still haven't blocked it yet, so I'm probably actually gonna leave this out and give it a block. So it'll be ready to go. Actually, I might take it to SAF with me since I haven't worn it yet. It's just now starting to get to that point where I can really wear knits. So that'll be a good one. So I guess that means I should talk about my other dotted rays next, which is not in the pile. Uh-oh, how'd I miss that one? BRB. Okay, I'm back. It was hiding under some hats. So this is my original dotted rays. And as you can see, it's much larger than the one that I just finished. And I think part of that is due to blocking, but also one of the yarns that I used was sport weight and the other two were fingering weight. What do you think? So I used, the neon yellow is Edison bulb from Madeline Tosh. There's like a cream base or like bare base with orange and pink and black speckles, and that one is also Madeline Tosh. I believe it's called the Radness. And then the other like bare base with the like blues and green, or like the blue and the neon and the black speckles, that is spun right around. That's the sport weight one. Colorway was called Glow Bugs, I believe. And yeah, I love this thing. I've gotten a lot of wear out of it over the years. The reason why I decided to knit a whole new one is when I pulled it out a few months ago, I had some unintentional holes in it. I think there's another one, yeah. Ugh, this one's really big. So I do think I can mend this. Oh, there's a third one. Awesome. yeah, so I guess I can mend it. It'll have some unique little spots to it that way. So it is what it is. I decided that to go ahead and make the other one. Plus, I just actually really enjoyed knitting that pattern. It's mindless, but also a little bit of addicting because you're always wanting to finish that next wedge to make it bigger and bigger. So yeah, I guess my other option would be to like try to frog it and salvage some of this yarn, but I feel like it would be better off just kind of mended and having a little bit more character and personality to it. So that is my other dotted rays. I guess we'll stay with West Knits first since they're both right here also. I also knit, I think the first one that I knit was this, the Doodler. And this is probably the first shawl that I ever really knit, and no, it's not the first shawl that I knit, but it's the first one that I knit and like really loved. And I think it had to do with the fact that I was really discovering like indie hand-dyed yarn at the time. So the main color, the cream with the speckles, is from a dyer called Jersey Rising. She no longer dyes yarn though, so this is pretty precious to me. And then the like faded neon, gosh, I got that years ago at a yarn shop at the beach on the Outer Banks in Kitty Hawk. There's a shop called, I believe it's called Knitting Addiction. And we used to go out there every year for a friend's birthday. I just remember that colorway being named like sea salt. And I had that skein for the longest time. I never knew what to do with it because that was like really the only kind of like hand-dyed, indie-dyed yarn that I had at the time. But the purple is a Knit Picks palette. Like I think like once a year they do kind of limited edition colors, and this purple was one of those limited edition colorways. I really don't wear this shawl. It's a little bit small. I'm not crazy about the way that it like wears around my neck, which is how I prefer to wear shawls usually, but also it's too small to really go around my shoulders. So I have thought about frogging it and repurposing this yarn as well. I don't know. We'll see. I really love this, the pale neon, but it's also a colorway that I dye now myself, or something similar to that. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I need to gift it to someone. At the same time, I don't really want to let precious yarn go. Oh, that reminds me, one shawl that I don't have here was my Find Your Fate. I did gift that to my sister-in-law. They say if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'm just not going to say anything nice about that pattern. Or I'm just not going to say anything at all about the pattern. That's a long story that I will save for a podcast or something. I didn't mean to go off on that tangent there. So the next shawl I have here is my Marled Magic, which I did as the Mystery Knit Along when it came out 2 or 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I think. And this was a nice stash buster. I probably could tell you most of the yarns in here, but I don't think we have time to sit here for that. So this one is 2 fingering weights held double throughout the whole thing. And this shawl is gigantic. Like, if I stood up and just wrapped it around my neck, both ends would hit the floor. So the reason that I decided to do the jig shawl was because I liked the weight of this, like the feeling of it on my shoulders, because I do actually like to wear it like this. But it's not like a perfectly symmetrical triangle, and it's kind of got the long like ends, so I never really know what to do. I do kind of like wrap it around me sometimes and wear it like that, tied in the back. Yeah, and this was kind of like my first foray into brioche as well, so that was a good learning experience. I think that's a nice thing about Wes Smith's shawl patterns is he always throws a lot of techniques in there, so it's a great way to try new things, but in like bite-sized portions. So that's my Marled Magic. I really love the braid detail at the front. I think that's really unique. I've got a loose one. So yeah, I really like this one. It's just not one that I can really wear with a coat or even just like over a sweater or something. It's kind of strictly a house shawl. Sorry, I didn't mean to knock the camera. I feel like I'm kind of like rushing because I did not mean for the sweater video to be 30 minutes long. So I'm trying to keep this one a little bit short and sweet. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea first though. So this is that glazed lemon loaf tea, and oh my gosh, it is delicious. It doesn't need sweetener, it doesn't need cream. It's like, it literally tastes like cake. It's really good. So let's see. Next, I will do my Adventures wrap. This is kind of the Advent pattern that really kicked it all off, I feel like. This is by Amba O'Brien. This is her first Advent shawl pattern that she wrote. And this, I actually did use a tiny amount off of each of the 12 colors from the Semi-Precious collection, the one that I'm making a crocheted blanket out of now. So the way this pattern is written, you do one triangle, and then this is another triangle, and then you join them together in the middle. So it's an Advent pattern, so it's written for 24 colors. So I had 12, and then I just found 12 other colors or minis in my stash that would work with these. It did take some trial and error. I know I started over once or twice with this. Excuse me. But I really love this. It is kind of a little weird on the join between the two. And I'm not sure if I did something wrong or if that's how it's supposed to be or what. You kind of get that like raised bump there. But it's really not noticeable when you wear it. So again, this is another great one to kind of just wear around your neck like scarf-like. I'm probably not doing a great job of it because I can't see what I'm doing right now. The Advent calendar patterns are also really nice so that throughout the month of December, you can sit down and do a little bit of knitting each day. And then at the end of the month, you're left with this really nice project. I don't think I finished mine until like March because I started over so much on it. And we were in the middle, that was the Christmas we were moving. So yeah, that is that. I am actually getting ready to cast on for one of her Advent patterns for this year with the calendar that I dyed up this year. So I'm really excited about that. I think she's actually releasing 3 or 4 Advent patterns, so that's exciting as well. So I'm doing a test knit, so I don't think I can show you guys anything anytime soon. And I probably won't actually be casting on until after SAF, but like that Monday, yeah, I'm gonna be casting on. So next shawl here, you'll be pretty familiar with at this point. If you've watched any of the podcast episodes, it's my Poodle Bear shawl. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong because it's Danish, I believe, because this is a pattern by Fiber Tales, who has a lovely podcast, but she's on a maternity break right now. Hopefully she'll be back soon. And I believe that the word Poodle Bear means elderberry, perhaps? It's some kind of berry, because that's what she designed the pattern to mimic. So like the baubles are little berries, and then the cables on the border are like leaves. This is knit in some Green Mountain Spinnery yarn, and I love this shawl. I really enjoyed knitting it. I really enjoyed the cabling, and I'm probably gonna knit another one at some point. I was actually kind of thinking about if I ever get my hand spun up to par, spinning something and knitting another one of these out of it. And I actually kind of think that like a nice deep dark burgundy would be really pretty. I don't know. I also really like just the cream. It looks really nice and just kind of traditional plain wool. Oh, and this is my blue ribbon knit, so there is that as well. Yeah. Moving right along, I have got, this is kind of a sad state of affairs here. Not really, but that's the wrong side. It is because it's got a snag and I just can't seem to fix it. I forget what this is called, the pattern. Use the Force, maybe? So if you ever bought off of Jimmy Bean's Wool, they get some exclusive colorways from Lorna's Laces, either every month. Yeah, I think it's every month. And occasionally they'll do like mystery knit-alongs or knit-alongs with those. So this is what that pattern was. The green, the like sea foamy green blue color, the lighter color, was one of their exclusive colorways, called the light side. Conversely, they made a dark side colorway, which is black and red, kind of tonal variegated. Obviously, there's our Star Wars references. Sorry, I'm completely all over the place with this. Because they were coming out about the time that they did the whole reboot of the Star Wars movies a few years ago. So this pattern was actually designed to use those two colorways together, and I'm not going to say anything at all again because I feel like I would be mean if I really said my true thoughts on that. It wasn't for me. So I found this dark color in my stash, which is actually some souvenir yarn from when Jason and I went to Colorado to visit Naomi when she was living out there. Yeah, so this was the little pattern, the little mystery pattern that went along with it. It's cute. It's small. It's not really my thing. It doesn't really get worn a whole lot. I think I wore it a few times. Obviously, I must have worn it at some point because it got a snag in it. Again, I've thought about like frogging the yarn, especially because this like dark color is souvenir yarn. It's a little bit sentimental, but I don't know. Maybe I should just give it to one of my nieces, fix the snag and give it to one of them. We'll see. For now, it just lives in my chest. This next one was also a deal with Jimmy Bean's Wool and Lorna's Laces. So the like custom colorway this time is the dark brown, the cabled border there. Okay, let me see if I can explain this. So there's actually two colors in this. The lighter color was Buckingham Fountain, I believe, and the dark brown was called Jamie's Kilt, and it was an Outlander colorway. So in the these parts with the slip stitches, you were striping the yarn and also slipping stitches to create a tartan-like effect, which I actually really like. I think it's pretty and I think it was effective. I love a good knitted on border as well. My only problem with this shawl is it's not deep at all. And it's a weird, crescent shape. I don't like the shape. And with the knitted on borders, you get this weird, hump thing going on. And it wasn't just me. Other people who knit this pattern had that problem also. The edge is also super tight. So once again, it's yarn that I really love, but I'm not super thrilled with the final outcome of this. It is more wearable than that one, I feel like, since it does kind of curve along. And I believe I could have continued that pattern and made it a little bit deeper, but not by much. I had a little bit of leftovers left, but not a ton. So yeah, also this is kind of a palette that I would wear more so than the Star Wars palette one. But it is what it is. Actually, I have worn this one a couple of times. Also, it has Outlander references, which I'm a big Outlander fan. So I don't hate it as bad. If anything, I don't know. I was gonna say I would rip it out and just reknit this pattern as it is, but probably not. I'm probably just gonna live with it as it is. I might try reblocking it because I've only blocked it once. It might help with the shape. I got a new co-host now. Ribbon is here. You here to help me show the last one? He's sweet. Okay, so my final shawl, and probably my favorite, it's in close contention with my newest dotted rays, that are the Artemis one. This is the Saturate Shawl by Orange Knits, Mara Catherine Briner. Excuse me. Oh, that's the wrong side. Not that it really matters, but yeah, so this is a really lovely pattern. It's a really great reference if you want to fade your yarns more naturally. I'm not sure if I'd be giving away too much of the pattern by telling you exactly how that is achieved. So essentially you would knit a row in color A. Instead of turning around and knitting back, you slide all your stitches back to the beginning of the needle and then knit with color B. So instead of getting hard lines down here on the border, you wind up with more what looks like wrong side rows where they kind of blend more naturally into each other. And also she kind of has a more randomized sequence of striping, so you get that more natural effect, not just one row, 2 rows, 1 row, 2, it's very randomized. I highly recommend this pattern. My only very small qualm with it is, again, the shape. I love the look of the half pie shape. That's right, half pie, half circle, whatever. But for me, again, it's not super wearable like this. Feels really tight around my neck. I love the fringe. I need another shawl with fringe like this. Actually, what I would love to do is kind of modify this pattern and make a triangle shaped one, because then to me that would be perfect. I haven't checked Ravelry recently. I wonder if anybody has done that. But the yarns that I used for this, the very first color is Hedgehog Fibers in Teacup. The next one is from Hedgehog as well, called Zephyr. The third color is also from Hedgehog, Monet, the light blue. And then the fourth color is River's Edge Fiber Arts. I don't remember the name of the color. Spotted Dog maybe, or something. Naomi gave it to me. And then the last purple is a Koigu color. So yeah, I love this shawl. The shape is good for just kind of wearing, you know, over your shoulders like so. So I do wear this one also in the living room, but it feels like, for such a pretty shawl, it feels like a waste to only just kind of wear it around the house. So yeah, I think I need to make a triangle saturate at some point. Oh, the fringe just gives me all the Stevie Nicks vibes. It's so gorgeous. I love the colors, I love the fade, I love the shape. Again, it's probably my favorite all-time knit, not gonna lie. So yeah, so that is my shawl stash, if you can call it a stash. All right, guys, that is that. Thank you for joining me tonight. Again, apologies for not following through with the daily vlog thing. I've been thinking about Vlogmas for December. I do want to participate, but I think I'm gonna do like weekly vlogs instead of trying to do daily vlogs and failing at them. I just think it'll be a little bit easier on me to just kind of take clips here and there and then mash them together at the end of the week for you. Yeah, so tomorrow is gonna be freshening up linens in all the guest room, some housework, maybe running a few errands. I've got another advent calendar to go drop off at the post office, and I'm gonna be knitting on my Elton like a crazy person. Actually, I'm gonna go downstairs right now and try to finish that other sleeve. So again, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of my shawl collection. Should I frog those? Should I not? I know, I'm crazy. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week and happy knitting. I will see you guys later or tomorrow. You know, same difference. Bye. You guys, I'm sitting here editing the video and it occurs to me that I had my Cipala sweater on backwards the whole time. Which means that I had it on backwards the whole time that Jason and I went out to dinner and ran some errands. So, good job, Zoe. I think it's time for bed.